How's everybody doing? My name is.
Hey.
I go by that man, and these are my friends here. And um, go ahead and introduce y'all selves. Yeah. Horrible way to start.
Me? I'll start.
Okay, you go.
Okay, I'll go. I always start. I'm Jen Lantz. I am Alex's coach and Sarah's coach, and Adrienne, who's down below me, she's my coach. We're all connected through our program.
That's right. That's right. And
I'll go
welcome.
pass that to Adrienne. Oh.
Yeah, Adrienne. Go ahead, say what's up.
I'm Adrienne. I'm Jen's coach, and Jen, like she said, is Alex's coach and Sarah's coach. And so we all work as a team together. And I lost 75 pounds in 6 months, a little over 2 years ago. I've maintained my weight loss for over 2 years. And we're going to talk today about like our activity level and non-scale victories and stuff like that. So I'm excited because we have a lot of them. And then now we'll pass it over to this awesome lady right here.
Thank you. I'm Sarah Chapman, and I go by Vintage Beba on Instagram if anybody wants to follow me there. I have currently been on program for about 82 days, I believe, and I've lost 51 pounds. And I'm still working towards my goal. So I haven't yet reached my goal, but I'm getting pretty close. I'm almost halfway there.
All right. Congratulations. You're doing amazing, by the way. You are. And and I'm Alex. I don't know. I rushed into the entrance of this whole thing. Forgive me. But yeah, I'm Alex. I am also known as That Man on YouTube and all across the world. People in Egypt, just scream my name everywhere. It's crazy. No, I'm joking. But I am a health coach also, and I'm an entrepreneur and an investor, and I do all these things. And I lost right now so far 113 pounds in the last 4 months, which is pretty awesome. Still got a long way to go, but I'm getting there little by little. And all thanks to the support of my coaches, Jen, Adrienne, the friends like Sarah, and so many other people in the community of the program that we follow. And yeah, that's where we're at. So we were going to talk about non-scale victories, and we're going to talk. Which, if you don't know what a non-scale victory is, or if you don't, then let us know in the chat, and we're going to talk about that because I feel. The weight loss part is the most obvious thing, right? The weight loss part is the one that people see the most. You always see the before and afters, and it's shocking sometimes, especially like I look at mine and I can't believe it. Like sometimes I'm like, wow, like I almost looked like I did when I was like 20 years old, and I'm 36. And, so that's the obvious part. It does give you a sense of fulfillment, like of like accomplishment, but it's all the other little things that we go through that, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, I didn't, I forgot I could do that, or I can't believe I could do that now, and I'll give an example, and then I'll let everybody else give an example. One of the first non-scale victories that I experienced was it was putting on my shoes again, right? And I know it sounds very simple and all that good stuff, but for me it was huge because for 2 years almost I didn't even care to wear shoes. I gave up on wearing shoes because it would take me 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm not exaggerating. I know it sounds crazy. It would take me 10 to 15 minutes to just put on my socks and my shoes. And it was very stressful, and at the end of the day I gave up. So I just wore slides every single day for a year and a half, and when I did put on shoes, it was a struggle. So my first, like the one that really hit me the most, because I didn't even think of doing it until finally I was like, let me try, right? And I put on my socks. Like I literally didn't have to like grab my foot and stretch, and like it was a workout before. And now it was just like, boom, I put on my socks, boom, I put on my shoes, I was done. And now I love wearing shoes again. I used to be a big sneakerhead. I used to collect Jordans and Air Force Ones and all this stuff. And and I like dressing nice. So I couldn't even dress nice before. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to like wearing like real nice pants with, nice Italian shoes and things like that. And I couldn't do that anymore. But finally, I'm looking forward to those things. Like I got a wedding in September I'm going to. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to Miami, so I'm going to be wearing my shoes. Like it's looking forward to those things. And those right there are the more exciting wins, right? So that is an example of a non-scale victory.
Alex, that's so amazing. I love your shoe story because people don't realize maybe someone that's never been overweight or had like weight related pain, in their back and their sciatica or something like that wouldn't understand what you're talking about. But there's a lot of folks out there that totally understand and are currently dealing with what you're talking about. I know quite a few obese people that live in Crocs, slides, and Uggs because that's really all they can get on or fit into. I want to real quick talk about why are we asking this about non-scale victories, right? Because when most people want to diet and lose weight and gain health, they're just focusing on the number on the scale. That's all they're thinking about. And the program that we coach, that we've all done or are currently doing, and that we're talking about, we measure success on our program in different ways. So one way to measure success is on the scale, because then that's feedback, knowing that, okay, what the actions that you're taking are leading to fat loss, right? Because this is fat loss, not weight loss necessarily, what we're talking about. So we do measure that, but part of fat loss is also the measurements. We have our clients measure themselves because sometimes your weight might stay the same or only go down a few ounces, and you actually go down in inches, not just a number on the scale. So you could say, oh gosh, I only lost 4 ounces, but wow, my waist is an inch or two smaller. Like, so my arms are smaller, things like that. That takes up a lot of space. So that's another way that we measure. Another way that we measure is how you feel. And a lot of these things are what Alex is talking about, Sorry, I'm always having a hard time with my hands on this thing because it's mirrored. What Alex is talking about, that these are non-scale victories. Your energy, your sleep, your being able to put shoes on, being able to fit into a chair that you couldn't fit into before, fitting into clothes, different things. So that's why non-scale victories are so important in this program, because those are really that's the life-changing part, right, of what we're doing in fat loss and gaining health. So Jen, why don't you share with us some of I know you have a
I have a big list. How about we do Sarah and then come back to me?
Okay, yeah, do Sarah.
Okay, yeah, I made a little list too, but I started noticing them right away. But mostly I've noticed like my clothes are starting to fall off. And even Jen, she sent me some dresses and they are size 16. And I haven't been in a size 16 in forever. I was a size 22, 24 when I started the program, which that was the biggest I'd ever been. And I was like, there's no way I'd fit into a size 16. And when she sent me the dresses, I still didn't think I fit in the size 16. And I was like, I'm just going to try it on, see how hard it is to zip up. And they're actually a little bit big. So that's really exciting that I'm able to fit in those smaller clothes. And my stomach used to also, because I have short legs, I'm 5'2", so I would have to sit kind of close to the steering wheel, but my stomach would push up against the steering wheel. And when I would try to get out of the car, my stomach would get caught on the steering wheel. And now there's a good gap, and I can like breathe, and I don't have trouble getting out of the car. And also with the pain, I had severe back pain where I was getting epidural shots in my spine every couple of months. And I had fractures in my feet and my ankles were swollen, and all of that is gone. So I haven't had to deal with any of that. And I'm just looking forward to more non-scale victories. Like I took my son to his chemo appointment the other day, and I had to go up the parking lot where you have to like walk up to your car. And I used to get winded by just going up the slightest ramp, and I was just going, no problem, wasn't winded at all. So that's the thing that really means more to me, is that I'm starting to feel better, not just that my clothes are falling off.
That was one of my first non-scale victories that I noticed about the steering wheel. My stomach used to rest on the steering wheel. And when I turned the wheel, I would feel it. You know, you turn it and your stomach feels it. But at first, it was just like a few joints in my finger. Now I could put my entire hand between my stomach and the steering wheel. And oh my God, I have a lot of space. Another huge non-scale victory for me is the fact that I don't snore anymore. I used to snore like a freight train was blowing through. I used to wake my husband up in the middle of the night and he would nudge me and be like, will you shut up? And now, like, I don't ever get woken up because I'm not snoring. I had body inflammation. I had sciatica, plantar fasciitis, heel spurs, knee pain. I don't have any of that anymore. I used to hate walking my driveway. I have a very long driveway. I will walk it now just for fun because I can. And today I took my daughter to the doctor and I would give every excuse to use the elevator and never take the stairs. And today we walked in and she's like, can we take the stairs? And I'm like, yeah, let's take the stairs. And it was 2 flights up. And it wasn't until I got to the first level and I'm like, oh, we have to go up another flight of steps. All right, let's do this. And we just kept going up. But like, if this was a year ago and she said to me, can we take the stairs? I would have been like, no, we're taking the elevator and that's it. There's so many non-scale victories that I've had. I can't even think right now. I could get off the floor like 1, 2, 3. I used to have to roll over onto my knees and like push up. Sometimes even like, let's say I sat into like those pop-up chairs, if you go to watch baseball or whatever. When you sit in those, I used to have my husband pull me up out of the seat because I was stuck, literally stuck. I don't need help anymore. I could just get right up. I can't think. There's more, right? Adrienne, you know more of my non-scale victories. I work out. I never used to like working out. That was not something I enjoyed doing. And now I love it.
You used to make your kids pick anything up off the floor.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even pick anything up off the floor. You'd make them do it.
Yeah. And I'd be like, my back hurts. Can you get it? And they would. But now they're like, if I was to say that, they'd be like, you're skinny. You could pick it up. Oh, speaking of not being skinny, but I was a size 18 this time last year. I just got into a size 4 jeans that are not stretch. And for me, I've never been a 4 in my life. So that is probably the biggest non-scale victory that I can think of.
Well, I mean, just look at where we met in the nail salon, sitting next to each other in the pedicure chairs. And Jen used to like smush into that pedicure chair.
That's another thing. This pedicure chair, that was the entire size.
Now it's like there's all this space on either side of her. And the nail ladies are like, oh my gosh, your legs are so skinny. You're so skinny as she loses weight. So that's, your shoe size has gone down.
Yeah, I was a 9 wide and now I'm an 8.5 normal, whatever that is, medium, I guess.
Yeah, regular. I don't know.
I just actually I donated to Goodwill about 3 pairs of shoes. They were a size 10 and they had to be a size 10 because I had the heel pain. So I would wear inserts for the heels and it wouldn't fit in a 9 wide shoe. So I had to buy a size up and wear it, but I have no need for them anymore. So bye-bye.
That reminds me of my shoes. I had like Crocs that look like flats, like they're really cute. But my feet, the only reason I wore them is because they were like really like stretchy kind of. And my feet were like really wide. And I tried to wear them the other day and they're like my favorite shoes. But my feet kept slipping out of them because I had widened them up and now they won't shrink back down. So now I also need to go buy new shoes.
Yeah, the most expensive thing for me in this whole program, it wasn't the food. Obviously, the health coach comes with the program for free, all of that. So it was having to buy new shoes because I had to buy all new clothes because I went from a size 16, 18 down to, I'm between a 6 and a 4, depending on what I'm buying. And I'm 5'10". And the shoes though, because you can get like cute tops for $10 somewhere or something, but like shoes are expensive, you know what I mean? And so, I had to buy all new shoes, but the good part of that was that I could never wear boots up to my knees. I would have to search high and low for like cute knee-high boots that were extra wide or they had to stretch so they couldn't be all leather going all the way up. I couldn't ever wear over-the-knee boots, and I was always jealous of all these girls wearing the over-the-knee boots. But I found some that they're like basically spandex, most of the boot. And then the front of the boot had leather on it or suede on it. And now those just completely fall off. I mean, all my shoes are just, I went from a 10 down to a 9 in my shoes. And part of it is the same with you, Jen. Yeah. Where it was like, not just the swelling in my feet and the width of my foot went down, but I no longer need orthotics anymore. And orthotics, I would get custom made orthotics that were hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And because of my weight, then I would plow through those pretty quickly. My sciatica, I mean, you know, look, it's like, if I do something, I have a loose SI joint. So sometimes it does get out of whack, but nothing like it was. I mean, before people would say, oh, I knew that was you walking down the street by the way you were walking, because I basically waddled. I was in so much pain all the time walking.
That was me.
Yeah.
People knew my walk.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I have a bad knee. I mean, and I injured my knee in high school. So I've had it long before I gained the weight. And the knee, doing certain movements hurts my knee. But when I was obese, my knee hurt me all the time. It hurt while I was sleeping. It hurt when I moved, even rolling over in bed, getting up out of a chair, taking a walk, driving. I don't care what I did, my knee hurt. Now, because I've taken off all that pressure of my knee, losing 75 pounds has made a huge difference in the weight that's constantly bearing down on my knee doing anything. I mean, I was on 7 different medications when I started this program, and now I'm only on 1 medication for my thyroid, which I'm hypothyroid. So I'll always have to take that medicine. But all my other medications for lupus and all those other things, I no longer have to take. I, obviously went down a lot in size and clothing size, but my energy level is so much better and my mood is so much better. Like, I think the biggest non-scale victory for me is just having confidence in myself and being able to do things that I never thought I could do before. I mean, I was never able to do a pull-up in my life or a chin-up ever, even as a kid, even when I was thin and young. I could never do something like that. And now I can do a whole bunch of chin-ups. I can physically do things, because I think a lot of what was my problem was the mental side of it, like not just the physical weight, but the mental weight and the self-doubt and the insecurities that I had. So shedding all of that with the weight went a lot of that emotional stuff. So I was able to really get rid of all of that and try out things that I never in a million years would have tried. Walking upstairs, I'm not afraid anymore. I can walk up hills. The hill at this elementary school, Jen, I would beg the security officer at pickup time, and it would be full up there. And I would be like, oh, but I have a bad back. I have a bad knee. I can't walk up the hill. And so I would wait. And my daughter, my son and my daughter would be late to their activity because I would wait for all the cars to leave through pickup so I could get a spot up at the top of the hill instead of just parking down the hill and walking up the hill to pick them up. And now my daughter just graduated from elementary school, and they had us all parking down at the very bottom of the hill in the field, all the way at the bottom of the property. And we live in the country, so it's a huge property with a big hill. And so I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think twice about it. And I was wearing heels. And I was like, you know what? This hill isn't even that big anymore. Like, but in my mind, it used to be so big. And I took a video of it and posted it on Facebook. I'm like, A, I'm not even afraid to walk up this hill. B, I know I can walk up the hill in heels, in the sun, and not even like worry about it, because now I'm able to work out more because I do have that energy and I have that desire to be healthier now, because we've all started changing our habits and getting healthier, which led, like Jen was saying, to start exercising more, right? And I exercise more than I did. And that in turn helps to then manage the weight and manage your mood, because, we know that we release endorphins when we exercise and stuff like that. I mean, so unless you have other non-scale victories y'all want to talk about?
Just want to add to the elementary school. I'm a Girl Scout troop leader, and every other Tuesday we had our meeting. So First of all, I'm late to everything. I'm going to be late someday to my own funeral. I'm always late. I would purposely get there 15 to 20 minutes early to circle around a couple times just to park up top because I did not want to walk up that hill. And when I would walk up the hill, by the time I got just to the top where like like where the buses go, I'd be huffing and puffing. And then you have to walk along the way, the walkway to get to the stairs. Then you got to walk up the stairs.
And walk up the stairs.
I was like gasping for air. So.
Well, when my son was in 3rd grade on the 3rd floor of the school, and I had to park down the bottom of the hill, walk up the hill, that took me a while, then walk up the stairs to get into the school, then walk up to the 3rd floor. I literally one day thought I was going to have a heart attack. I really did. I really was like, I had to take a break and I was making all these excuses. Oh, wait, let me make sure I have something in my purse. And I would stop.
I used to do that. I would stop and look at my phone. Like I got to make a phone call. I had nobody.
I have to do something like on the stairs. I would come up with all these excuses to stop and take a break.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I think that leads into this question here. What's your current level of activity? And this for the people in the chat. I do want to say what's up to some of them. I think we completely slipped that part. So want to say hi to Mookie to the Pookie. She's moderating the chat, putting links in there and stuff. If you guys aren't following any of us, the links will be put in by Mookie, but also they're in the description of either YouTube or Facebook for all of our social medias. So definitely go show some love. We got Alma G, my mom's there, sharing some of her non-scale victories. We got CDL Picker. What's up, man? Good to see you, brother. We got Susan saying people started asking me if I was okay after walking up to them. I had no idea I was walking weird because of the pain in her knee. Yep. We have who else we had here? We got Boatman. What's up? Name so nice, you gotta say it twice. Flipping Sports Guy came by to say hi. We got the Crazy Card. That's Mike right there. What's up, man? Good to see you. And I believe that's everybody so far. So I think, hold on. I think that's a great question to lead into because we're all at different levels of activity in our phases of fat burn and weight loss and all that good stuff, right? In our health adventures. Like I know I'm nowhere near the athleticism that I've seen Jen in her little, what do you call them? Was it a TikTok? What was it? TikTok or Reel? What was
Reels.
it? Yeah, Instagram Reel. She over there doing all this stuff that I ain't never done in my life, and I'm like, whoa, I want to do that. So, that's cool. And then obviously, Adrienne's a Pilates instructor. You just finished school or something, right? What was that? 'Cause that's a non-scale victory to me.
Oh yeah. Hello. I can't believe I didn't even bring that up. Yeah. So this is crazy. So I've been practicing Pilates since I think 2003 or 4, somewhere around there. And I always loved Pilates so much. And I mean, it was definitely hard for me. I didn't really get into a lot of the advanced exercises because of my weight or because of having kids and being pregnant and blah, blah, blah. Right. But after that was all said and done, I just always loved it so much. And I was like, gosh, I'd love to be a Pilates instructor, but who's going to want to take Pilates from some obese girl or some girl that's even just overweight? That's what I would tell myself in my head. And you don't have to be the best body to teach Pilates. Obviously, you just have to be well trained, but that was just something I was telling myself. No one ever said, you can't do this. I was telling myself I can't do this because I felt bad about myself. But having the confidence to actually say, you know what, I'm going to actually go do the courses. And it's been it took me 1.5 years without stopping. That's how long it takes, the program. And it was very intense. It was much harder than I thought it was going to be when I got into it, physically and mentally and everything. And we have to learn all the way up through advanced exercises, something I probably wouldn't normally teach a normal person. And I was having to do them and we were practicing on each other. And I took myself to places I didn't think were possible. And now I know I'm capable of so much more than I ever gave myself credit for. We all are, we just tell ourselves that we can't do these things. And that was a huge non-scale victory for me to finish my comprehensive certification just on last Sunday. And it was a huge like emotional breakdown for me because I got a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I have my hair blown out. I mean, I just actually came from Pilates. Like I look all crappy right now, but I had my hair blown out and I was, makeup on. And I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror teaching. And I was this person, this like athletic looking Pilates teacher. And it hit me like a knife in the heart. I like almost like my stomach sank, that feeling of like, who is that? Like I did a double take because I didn't recognize myself. And I don't just mean physically, I mean mentally and emotionally. I didn't recognize myself. I was like, that person did not exist. That person I'm seeing in the mirror didn't exist 2 years ago. That person did not exist 2 years ago. It's like, that's crazy to like not recognize yourself. And you look in the mirror and I can see, okay, that's me, but that's not me. I don't know who that is, but that's not me. I mean, it's the new me. And that was wild. It was a very wild feeling.
That's
awesome.
amazing. That's a big deal. And that's a big non-scale victory in my opinion. That's huge. That's huge.
Well, that's kind of
and
everything.
Like for as far as
of the boots and the shoes and the exercising more and not yelling at my kids as much and eating healthier and having a more stable mood and having boundaries with myself and in relationships. It's going to bed earlier, getting better sleep, drinking more water. It's all of those things. After 2.5 years of living like that, I now am like almost unrecognizable. You know what I mean? Like in a better way.
I always say I wish I knew you before because I would never recognize you today. Who you were. Sarah, tell them about the dun hunting. Sorry. Tell them about dun hunting, what you told me.
Oh, well, right now my level of activity is like nothing. I don't go to the gym. I don't even go for walks because it's like 100 and something degrees outside. I live in Arizona, so I'm like, I'm not going out there. But I do go out to find all this mess behind me, all this Ray Dunn and Johanna Parker. So I get out there and I stand in the heat and I walk in line and I go run to the shelves. But it's kind of funny because it's like you might not think it's activity, but it was so funny. The other day I found 2 Johanna Parker teapots, which they're pretty big, a bunch of like canisters. And if this was me like 3 months ago with all that extra weight, there's no way I would have been able to grab this stuff the way I was grabbing it and carry it because I would have been out of breath and I would have had too much belly. And I'm sitting there like this and running for a cart. Like it was really hilarious if anybody was watching me. And I was like, in a cart. And I have like this armful of stuff. And I was carrying, that's pretty heavy, all this pottery. And I was like, I'm pretty good. Like, just going with all my pottery. And yesterday, the day before, I went with my husband to Sam's Club. And that's an exercise right there, walking through that place. It's enormous. And so I was like, you know what? I saw Jen do a post like when I first started the program of her and Adrienne at Costco, like holding up dog food to signify like how much weight they lost. And I was like, yes, I'm going to do that one day. And so I picked up that big $50 bag of dog food for almost $50. And I was holding it. And I was like, there's no way I could have been holding this bag of dog food with my extra 50 pounds that was on me. And like, no wonder I was so exhausted. Like even walking through Sam's Club, I don't think I would have been down to do that if I would have had that extra 51 pounds on my body. Just no way.
Well, when you pick up something, like if you lose 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 70 pounds, 80 pounds, 100 pounds, and you pick something up, you try to pick it up, you're like, I can't pick this up. It's too heavy. And if you think about it, you were carrying that around everywhere you went, in the shower, getting in and out of the car, up and down the stairs. I mean, it's crazy that we think, oh, that 50 pounds is so heavy, yet you were carrying it around like no big deal. Like you've got muscles under there. That's the cool thing about fat loss versus just traditional dieting and weight loss is that you lose the fat, you're keeping the muscle, and you got to have some muscle under there to carry around all that extra weight. So like my dad at 78 lost 50 pounds and had abs at 78, got abs. I mean, that's nuts.
Wait, what did he do? Tell everybody what he did to your niece.
Oh, with the underwear picture? Yeah, so he took his before picture in his underwear because he had no intention of ever showing it to anyone. He's like, and he's like all grouchy in the picture, like, you know, and in his underwear. And then, you know, ended up taking his after picture. And then he wanted to show everybody these pictures, right? Like bragging, like, look at my abs, look at my muscles. I have muscles and I have abs. And look at me. Don't I look great? And like, well, we would FaceTime over COVID and he'd lift up his shirt. Look at my abs. And I'm like, yes, Dad. My mom's like, I'm so sick of looking at his abs. You know, like, and so anyway, so on our group family chat with like all my little nieces and nephews and little cousins and my cousins' kids. And I mean, there's like 5 and 6 year olds on there, all the way up to like my elderly aunts and uncles and everyone in between. And he sent the pictures of him in his underwear, his before picture to everybody. And I was like, oh, Dad, okay, like now everybody's seeing you in your underwear. And then he posted it on my Facebook. And you know what? He was so proud of himself. He's like, who cares about the stupid underwear? And you know what? He's right. When you have accomplished something like that you just didn't think was possible, and now he's doing Pilates and he's active. My mom started playing golf in her 70s. She'd never played golf in her life. You know, it's like doing these, you're able to lead a more active life, which leads to lifelong health. Once you get that energy better and you lose all that extra fat and your heart is functioning better, your organs, like all of your systems are just functioning better because they're healthier. You're getting nourished because you've healed your gut. You're getting all these vitamins and minerals and probiotics. So now you're like really nourished and you're really hydrated because you're drinking all this water. And so you just have this level of energy that makes you want to be more active. I mean, Alex, you started walking now, right?
Yeah, and I stopped.
Why? Because it's like 100 billion degrees where you are?
No, I just as soon as I started walking, my weight stalled, my weight loss stalled. So and what it was is I was really I'm the type of person, if I'm determined to do something, I always push myself and I've always pushed the limits. So, you know, the first day was one little half a lap or a lap or something. The second day I did a lap, but then I was like, I'm gonna do 2 laps. And then 3, and what I didn't realize is that the 1 lap is already like half a mile. So or it's not half a mile, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. And it's uphill. It's all uphill and then a little downhill and then uphill. It's like this trough. So I was really, really exerting myself at the weight that I was. And I started off walking 20 minutes or something like that. But then by the end, I was doing 4 or 5 laps. And I was walking for more than an hour, and I wouldn't realize because I'm like, my mind's telling me no, but my body, and I just keep walking. You know, I didn't care. I felt like I was going to pass out, but to me, because of my ignorance or my stubbornness, better said, I was like, I'm not going to stop. No, my mind's telling me to stop. No, I'm not, and I will just keep going. And what I realized was that I was maybe doing a little too much, even though it was just walking. I was doing a little bit too much, you know? So
well, yeah, usually we, you know, like definitely healthy movement, but when you're still overweight or obese, like definitely keep it really light and just 10-minute walks is really all you need in the beginning, or even just vacuuming your living room or hand washing the dishes, just standing in the kitchen, just standing more alone is enough in the beginning. Yeah. And then as you get down to closer to a healthy weight and you start exercising more. Otherwise, I mean, that's why we do have different programs, right? We have multiple different programs, and people that are exercising a lot, then they would be on a different program, you know? Yeah. And probably just throwing yourself into too much of a calorie deficit.
Yeah. And that's what I ultimately ended up doing. Like, I'll just wake up early in the morning sometimes, or sometimes when the sun's down, but I like it when the sun's not out in my face, killing me at 96 degrees. So any one of those times, I'll go out for like a 10, 15-minute walk. I'll hit that way, I come back, you know, and just because I need that movement. Like now I crave that, you know, like I crave that extra, you know, and it's kind of like peaceful too. It almost clears your mind up a little bit, and, you know, you kind of put the phone down, you know, and you're out, you know. So,
but you know, even like Jen,
so my activity is definitely increased.
Right. And like Jen going to the Like, remember, Jen, you like scrubbed the whole front of your house and the front door. And then
I forgot about that.
And then you went to the
Holy
ropes
cow.
course. You went to the ropes course with your kids and rock climbed. You know, like all of these things, you don't even realize. You lose weight, you start feeling better, you have more energy, you start doing more activity. And what happens is you end up having lifelong health. You become an active person without even realizing it.
And I'm not afraid to try new things where I was afraid. I would have never done the rock climbing wall if this was a year ago. I would have been like, are you out of your mind? No way. And now I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's try this.
So I actually, I thought of this question while we were all talking, and I think it's a good question. What kind of goals do we set when it comes to our health, right? Like we first started talking about the weight, right? The number on the scale, and then we got into the non-scale victories, and I believe that having non-scale victory goals is more motivating than than just the number on the scale, because that number could also kind of discourage you, because if you focus too much on the number on the scale, or the weight, your waist size, or the dress that doesn't fit, you know what I'm saying? If we focus too much on that versus focusing on something more exciting, something that we really want to do, like for me, it started with the roller coaster thing, and then I realized I want to do more stuff like that. So last week sometime, or the week before, it was my grandma's birthday, and there was this zip line thing, and I'm like, I've always wanted to do that, right? So of course they got weight limits on stuff, and I know this being a man who weighed 460 pounds. So I went in there, and that was my question: what's the weight limit on it? And they said 50 pounds to 250. And now, okay, yeah, it has a number on it, the 250 goal, but the actual goal is I want to ride that thing, And not only that, I want to be able to go hiking. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to go kayaking. Like my cousins are visiting, and they're out there kayaking. Well, they're in South Carolina or something like that, but I could go see them, and I can go kayak, and I might be able to do it right now. I don't know, but that'd be a goal. You get what I'm saying? So,
well, that's when we talk about external motivating factors. Dr. Anderson talks about this in the books, and in the Life book and the Habits of Health book, having an external motivating factor versus an intrinsic motivating factor, right? So like the external factor or goal would be, well, I have my 15-year high school reunion coming up. I want to look hot. Having this dress, like you said, Alex, that doesn't fit, and I want to fit into that dress. You get to that goal.
Want to fit into that dress.
You want to fit into that dress, that leopard dress. I know you. So now you fit into the dress. Now what? Okay, I'm fitting into the dress. You go right back to your old habits, because that's it. That's the ultimate goal. Okay, I fit into my dress. I have my 15-year high school reunion. That's it. The reunion's over. Now what? All of these things. But when you're talking about these non-scale victories, these activities, these goals that we have that are more emotional and fulfilling, and they're coming kind of from deep within, those are ever growing and ever changing and lifelong. Like I want to be able to go kayak with my family. I want to be able to go on a hike. I want to be able to do that zip line. And those things kind of like you do that, and then you're like, oh, I could do this. I could do this. And it actually leads to being more active, and it leads to more healthy decisions. Jen, what are your goals right now?
Well, I was going to say, this also goes with your why, right? Because like when I first started, I didn't have actual goals. My why was I wanted to be present in my kids' lives, because I was not present in their life. I would stand on the sidelines. I would take pictures. I'd take videos. I'd cheer them on, but I was not in the fun. And for me, I just wanted to. So back in April during COVID, we went for a hike in the woods. I went 15 minutes in, maybe 20 minutes the most, and I quit. And I went and sat in the car while they hiked with my husband for the next 2 hours. I cried because I was like, this is my kid's first hike, and their mom's not with them, and she's in the car. So we went back and redid that hike back in April because I knew I could do it, and it was awesome. But now I have a whole new set of goals, because I've basically crushed everything that I set out to crush. Now I am trying to get into the middle of a healthy BMI. and my why has changed. So I can't tell you right now because I'm still reassessing my why.
Yeah. So, I mean, that
changed.
happens. I mean, that totally happens to change your why. And it does change. It's ever growing. And we talked about that in one of the other lives, but I lost the weight over 2 years ago. I've had to readjust my goals and my whys to keep that weight off. I had to dig in and do some work, and it was emotional work. I had to dig in and do it. I realized things happened. A guy died on our lake. He drowned, and the body was stuck underwater in the weeds and under some rocks. And they had divers out there every day. And it was like, I could just see it from my house. My whole house faces the water. So every room I'm in, I'm out there and I see the police boats and the divers, and they brought in all these different teams. And then they were like, well, if we can't find the body, eventually it's going to float up and float to shore. And the side of the lake that I live on is kind of where everything floats to. So I was like having nightmares that this body is going to float up. And
that was for like a week, right?
It was a whole week. I mean, all of us on this side of the lake were terrified. Like, what if there's a body down there? Like I was like, oh my God, I can't let the kids go out there. What if they see the body? Like it was, and I noticed I kept going to my pantry and digging through my pantry for something to eat. And I'm like, shoot, I don't have junk food in the house anymore. Okay. Had I had junk food for the kids, I would have eaten it. Okay. So that don't buy it for the kids because you're buying it for you.
Yeah. I use that excuse all the time.
That's a side note. Okay. So luckily I followed my own advice and didn't have a bunch of crapola in the house. So now I'm opening up the baking pantry, like with the flour and the chocolate chips and everything. So I'm like, maybe I can make something unhealthy. I was literally like, I'm going to go bake something from scratch that I can pig out on because that's how stressed out I am. And I was like, what am I doing? And I had already lost the weight like a year and a half before. I'm like, what am I doing? And so I got on one of our community coffee with clients calls, and I'm like, this dead body in the lake is stressing me out to the point where I want to stress eat. And I thought I was past that. I thought I'm done. I'm good. I lost the weight. I'm keeping it off. I don't have no problems. And then I realized you never know when these triggers are going to happen because they don't happen daily. They might happen once a year. And COVID didn't even have me freaked out, but the dead body did. The dead body had me very, very, very freaked out because I thought in my world, COVID's out there. It's out there. It's not affecting me in my little bubble. And my kids can still go out on the boat every day on the lake and have fun and go water skiing every day in our summer. They don't need to go to camp. We don't need to see anybody. We live here. I had this little bubble that was safe and secure from the outside world. And then boom, somebody drowns. He was a personal trainer, very fit, very athletic guy, and he drowned. And so now my bubble was burst. I'm not safe. My kids aren't safe. Nobody's ever 100% safe. And that scared the crap out of me because I thought everything was controlled and I had control over everything. And then when I realized I didn't have control over everything in my little perfect world, I wanted to eat to gain control. So that's where I realized that was my trigger. And nothing had happened to make me feel that way. And so that's when I realized I've got to go back and read the books again with new goals in mind. I had to reset my goals because I was like, I'm going to gain weight again. I'm going to start drinking again. I'm going to start doing all this stuff again and go right back to where I was. And so going back and rereading the books and re-digging in, and I actually much more engaged in the community at that point because then I really realized I needed it. And that's where the real change happened and the real growth happened for me.
Sarah, I just want you to share about the buttons with the chocolate. That was tough for you. Well, it could have been tough for you, but it wasn't.
Yeah. So I love baking. Like I have my whole KitchenAid and everything sitting up over here. That's just one of my passions. I just think it's fun to make pretty things with cakes. And so I really haven't had to make any cupcakes or cakes for anybody since I started. But then my best friend had a baby shower and she did the cutest theme ever, but she did this little like cute as a button theme. And I had to make like a ton of white chocolate buttons and all these different colors. And I was really kind of dreading it. So I was putting it off to like the last minute, like a couple of days before this thing. And I was like, I shouldn't have procrastinated, but I was scared to make the buttons because I was afraid I would want to eat them. And then I was just, when I finally said, okay, let's just do this, and I'm making the buttons, I had no desire to even eat any of it. I sniff everything. Everybody thinks I'm weird, but I'll like have a cookie and I'm like, and I'll get the biggest sniff I can possibly get. So I was just smelling the chocolate and I'm like, that's good enough for me. I don't need to eat this. And I made like containers upon containers of buttons and never even like licked the spoon or tasted it. So I was like, I hope this is good, guys, because I don't know what it tastes like. It looks pretty, but I don't have a clue. I didn't chase the frosting, nothing. So, and then when I went to the baby shower, I was kind of dreading that too, because it was just a table full of sweets and cakes. And I was like, no, I'm okay. And I just sat there and ate my little, chocolate drizzle bar, and I was fine.
That's amazing. I mean, that's the cool thing about the feelings is that, like the s'mores bar, like Jen literally put one on a stick and heated it up in the fire while the kids were making actual s'mores. But you know what? That's the cool thing, because we have things that if you really are craving, you can make a choice that it's going to align with your health goals. It's going to take you towards the fat loss that you're after and feeling better and gaining health, but yet taste good and give you that kind of, if you're really craving that flavor, it's something sweet or whatever. Oh, and there's always pickles.
Today I'm craving salt big time. So instead of diving into chips or even Quest chips, because Quest chips have been my kryptonite lately, I dove into the pickles.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to get back into a good fat burn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do the shake blitz, because like the other day, Alex was like, I'm doing all shakes. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the all shakes. So today I'm on all shakes.
I don't have enough shakes to get me by.
Even though I did, I'm working out, but I wanted to cut down a little bit more. So I went back on 5 and 1. And I'm like gonna do all shakes.
I lost 3.5 pounds from one day to the next drinking shakes.
Well, Alex, I mean,
that doesn't count.
You're a fast loser. I'm not going to compare myself to you.
I might cool.
I'm lucky.
That's amazing, though. I mean,
yeah, he's the fastest loser. He wins.
And I wasn't hungry at all day. Like I was, I was perfectly fine. 5 shakes, and I had my lean and green meal. I forgot what I had.
I have a lot of hot chocolate. Have you guys ever had like frozen hot chocolate? Because I could try it with hot chocolate.
I mean, I do. I drink the hot chocolate all the time anyway. I absolutely love the hot chocolate. It's so good.
I haven't even tried it.
Really?
It.
Oh my God, you need to try it.
Yeah,
I put it in my coffee.
Yeah,
it's like a Dunkaccino.
I just drink it. Just drink it.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna snatch one from my mom's. My mom's got it.
It's also good mixed into the Too Good yogurt. And it's like, it gets kind of thick and cakey a little bit. And it turns into this, like, I call it like pudding souffle. That's what I'm telling myself.
And I say it's like chocolate ice cream, sort of. Like when you put the pudding in, it tastes like chocolate ice cream, sort of.
Yeah, it's, anything mixed in the Too Good yogurt is good. So Jen, I know that you were struggling recently. And so I know that you need to dig in and have some new goals, but we need some good intrinsic goals, something that's coming from within, because it's really easy at the end to kind of say, well, I'm comfortable. Well,
right now, I mean, I know I told you last week, it's petty. I just want to get in the middle of a healthy BMI because I want to feel and look better than I did in high school. And right now I'm at high school weight. So like, I'm comfortable. I'm where I used to be. I don't want to be comfortable anymore. I want to be uncomfortable.
But do you remember when you called me and it was right before, maybe it was right before Halloween, and you called me crying that you were in a size 12 and you hadn't been in a size 12 in your adult life.
That's the day I went to the nail salon. I was wearing the size 14 jeans. And we were going to go take pumpkin pictures. And I was like, I took pictures in the seat, getting a pedicure. And I was like,
those jeans are baggy on you.
Yeah, you said it. They're a little baggy. Yeah. And I was like, well, I do have 12s upstairs. And you're like, put them on. I'm like, I don't think they're going to fit me. And he said, no, just put them on. So I tried them on. And that's when I started crying on the phone with you. because I never in my life thought I could get into a 12.
Right.
Never.
Now you're in a 4. So
4.
just think about like that. And this was the biggest thing for me to realize. And Sarah, I don't know if you're coming to these realizations now yet. And you probably will, as you go through time on the program. But like everything that I thought I couldn't do was really just my mind saying that's not possible. You know, I can't do this. I can't do that. And I would come up with excuses, but it was really just me. There was really nothing else preventing me from doing it. Right. I mean, like a man can't give birth, right? There's things like that are physiological, but outside of that, right? Outside of those kind of things, you know, that we are limiting ourselves with our brain. And so, Jen, you've just got to figure out.
I need a good why. I don't have a good why. I don't have a good why. I know I don't have a good why.
I'm telling you, the why is that you don't want to go back to who you were last year, because if you keep going down the same path you're going on, then you're just going to end up right back there. And then all this time is just wasted. All this pain and agony of getting to where you are now is just going to be all wasted. And I don't want to see that for you, especially as my health coach. Like I aspire to be like you and Adrienne. So I'm not going to allow you, if I have to fly from Arizona to New York, I will. And I'm coming.
Well, and Sarah, you know what? Because, you know, as a health coach, someone that I was obese and I was having a lot of health issues and now I'm not, I also get a lot from health coaching from my clients. Like when they're successful and they're doing things and they're like discovering things, it helps me, you know? And so I felt like, gosh, if Jen goes back, what's going to happen to me? Like it becomes a two-way street.
I'm
right?
not going back. I promise. I'm saying it to the world. I'm not going to ever be that size I ever was. Ever.
I know you're not. And like Sarah,
fear that you might is what you need to keep in the back of your head. You might say I'm not, but be scared of your own self enough to stop the bad behavior.
Why it's the 10 pounds that I recycle. Once I get up to that 10 pound, I'm like, nope, strict 5 and 1. And I go back down, but I keep recycling.
Why I said, like, remember back when you told me, like, I can't believe I'm in a size 12 and now you're in a size 4, right? That like think about how far you've come, right?
Yeah.
And then you're telling yourself that, you know, you don't need to go further, that you're okay or whatever. And if you really genuinely are okay where you are, then that's fine. And I've told you that. Then you go into maintenance and stop with this like little hamster wheel cat and mouse game that you're playing with yourself.
I want to keep going. I want to be okay. Here,
you really do.
I want to be a part of the 100-pound club. So if that pushes me a little bit more.
Well, then, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? So like either you just say, okay, I'm okay where I am. You're in a healthy BMI. You're in a size 4.
I'm at the top of the healthy BMI though. I'm not, I want to be in the middle.
Well, then
closer to the middle.
Well, then, you know what? Like then you've got to just do it. You know, just do it. Nike.
Yeah. Right now I'm in a good, well, I'm not in a good fat burn. I'm trying to get into fat burn. Today's day 3. So
I'm going to stay on your butt until you get there.
I know.
I'm going to stay on her butt too, even though she's my sensei.
That's okay. Sarah yells at me whenever I tell her I had a bad day.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Now, Sarah, she doesn't even tell me anymore. She's like, I'm like her mom now.
You want me to tell Adrienne? Like, I'm going to start using that.
Yeah. I'm going to go tell your coach.
I'm going to tell mom.
Yeah, just wait till I tell her what you did. You're going to get whooped. Yeah.
I almost just fell off my chair.
I'm sorry. I had to run. I had to run for a second because I just couldn't hold it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I had to use the bathroom. Sorry, guys.
All that water.
Alex,
I mean, dehydrated.
What are your goals right now, Alex? I want to hear what your goals are because you've already accomplished so much in such a short period of time. Like, what else? Like, do you have some short-term goals and some long-term goals?
Yeah, actually, so everybody always asks me like, what's your goal weight? You know, and I never set an actual goal weight until recently. Recently, I started really thinking about it and what I want to be, right, and how I want to be, and you know, I think I'd be good at 250 pounds, Granted, a lot of that's gonna be skin. Some, gonna probably get a surgery sometime, in the future. But my goals is to be strong. Have my muscles, build up my muscles. I want to be able to be how I used to be at once. At one point I had big broad shoulders and a strong chest and all these things. So I want to do those for multiple reasons. I want to be able to feel better. I do want to look better, right? I do want to look better. At first I didn't care really, but now I do. I want to look better for the people that have to see me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, but also for myself, because it does boost your self-esteem and it keeps your confidence at a good spot, and but most of all, that's what I want. I want to be around 250. And again, I set this goal now, but when I get there, as I'm getting closer, that might change. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I definitely don't think I'll be like a skinny dude. I have a wide frame and things like that, and I like the lifting weights and stuff like that. So,
well, right, it's like it's skinny fat versus body. We're talking about body composition, right? Like I'm a smaller size than I was before I have my kids, but I weigh about 15 pounds more.
Wow.
Isn't that weird? But that's because I was skinny fat before. I was unhealthy. I maybe was thin before. I was, but I was still full of inflammation. I wasn't eating healthy. I was a vegetarian and drinking a lot. I wasn't getting enough protein. I was still eating carbs and sugar, and I was drinking a lot of alcohol. Right. So now I've changed my body composition, and muscle takes up less space than fat does. And so you can say it weighs more, but my body composition is different. And so just by leading an active lifestyle, I came out of last summer. I bought a bunch of shorts last summer. The first summer I had lost weight, I didn't buy any shorts because I was like not comfortable wearing shorts still. I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to show my legs. I still thought I was obese in my mind, and I just was very uncomfortable. And I was like, I'm not going to wear shorts. The second summer, I bought a bunch of shorts last summer, and they were all size 6s. And even through COVID, even through all of this, and this summer came around and I pulled out the shorts, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh God, are these shorts going to fit? Am I going to even I don't know. It's been winter, and I was so paranoid, and I put them on, and they were all big in the waist on me. And that's without me even trying.
What size are they?
6.
Wow.
And I mean, they're all loose. And I remember, and I even looked at some pictures of me, and they were fitted in the waist last year. And this year they're not. And that was just me continuing to live that healthy lifestyle, continuing to stay on my journey. And that mental journey I was talking about, that we talk about in the books, is what's gotten me there. It's and just sticking to knowing what I need to eat and knowing what, is going to make me gain weight. And I stay away from that stuff. And for the most part, obviously birthdays and whatever different, I save the party food for the party, but just continuing to live that lifestyle. That's why I say I'm always on my journey. I'm not stopping, because I think about, if I'm feeling better at 46 than I did at 40, imagine at 56, how I'm going to feel. I think I can't wait in 10 years.
It's crazy that you're 46. That's nuts.
It's nuts. And I can do chin-ups now. I started doing chin-ups for the first time in my life at 46 years old.
That's nuts.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's wackadoodle. It is.
Awesome. So how about the rest of y'all? Any goals? Anybody got short-term goals, long-term goals? Anything? Anybody? Sarah?
I have goals, but like I said, I'm still on the let's say middle or even beginning of my journey, because the goal weight is really a big one. I know like you said, we shouldn't be looking at the number, but it really is, because I remember how, granted, I was probably a few inches shorter when I was in high school, but I remember how I was feeling in high school being 150 pounds. And I just want that feeling again. I was super confident. I loved myself. And 3-4 months ago, I was looking for psychiatric help and all crazy with my medications because I was severely depressed with anxiety and very suicidal. And that has gone away, but I want to be to the point where I really love myself. Like when Adrienne said, I almost started crying when she was talking about how she looked at herself and didn't recognize herself in a good way. I want that because the last time I had remembered looking at myself, I was walking past a store and I was like, whoa, that's a big girl. And I was like, oh, that's me. Like it, and I really took a step back, like, dang, that's horrible. I don't like that person. And so my goal is just to really love myself. And I'm getting there in such a short amount of time. In 3 months, I've gained so much more confidence. And I do want to fit in those dresses, because I've always dreamed of doing an actual pinup photo shoot. And like my best friend does them, she's gorgeous. And I want to do that too, but I'm not confident enough in my body to do that. So that's something that I'm really working towards. And being able to run at the park with my kids. Like I hate going to the park. I just want to sit there. So now I'm really looking forward to being able to go and run and play with them before they get too big, before they don't want to play anymore.
But you know what, though? My son being 12 and a half and like super snarky and sporty, and even still now, because the new mom that he has, he loves me doing stuff with him now and being able to do stuff. He's loving it, and so that's a really good feeling that my kids love the interactions that we have now and the activities that we're able to do. I'm going and doing a lot more with them. I'm loving and going to all the baseball games with my son now. And we go out on the lake every day. And, everybody's like, wow, Adrienne, it's weird to see you on the lake. We've had this lake house for 20 years and I never go on the lake. Now I do, and I'm like, come on, let's go for a paddleboard. And, no motorboat. I want to be active. Like we can go out on the boat, but it's active interaction with my kids, kayaking and paddleboarding around the lake. And my son's like, oh, this is so cool. And we went, sat on some rocks out in the middle of the lake, and he was just loving it. And it was really special for me to share that with him because the old me wouldn't have done that. I would have made every excuse because honestly, I couldn't get in and out of the friggin' kayak. And there's no way you would have gotten me on the paddleboard because that was like an elephant riding a paddleboard. I was like, it would have looked ridiculous. It would have been dangerous. It just wasn't going to work, and now I'm not afraid of that anymore. And I can actually do it. That's the crazy thing. It's like, it is a different person.
You just reminded me when I went into the pool the other day with my parents' house, I always, with the kids' floats, I always used to put the floats over my head and, like go through it. And I used to have to push it over my boobs because they were so big and I filled out, the whole tube. I had space. I looked down. I was like, oh my God, I could see the pool. I could see my feet. Like I never could see down. I had to look over the tube, the big circular thing. So it's amazing how different life is when you just lose some weight. And, I didn't say in the beginning, I lost 94 pounds. Since last July. I'm coming up on my anniversary. Tomorrow is actually the day of my whole freak out where I said, okay, I'm done living this life. I need to do something about it. And I didn't know even yesterday that I was about to start this. It wasn't until July 8th, I think, that Adrienne made her post in shorts and she looked amazing. And I was like, okay, I don't know what you're doing, but I need help. So help me.
Yeah. Cause I was afraid to wear the shorts. I just bought those shorts and it was a big deal for me to wear them to a party. I might have worn them to like the grocery store or something, but like to go to a party in white shorts was like, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I was like freaking out. And I'm like, okay, I'm just walking down the dirt road to the neighbor's house. And there's like a couple of people here because it was during COVID and we were sitting outside. And I was like, I can just wear the shorts. And I'm like, worst case scenario, I make up some excuse and run home and put jeans on. I spill something on the shorts and I have to run home, me with my excuses. But like, I was like, oh my God, I'm actually going to wear these shorts. And so I made it into a post. And that's why Jen called me.
And well, I mean, I think all these experiences that we just shared are all very inspirational, right? And that's something that I love about our friendship and our bond, our relationship that we've created and we've watered and all that good stuff. But it's also part of the community that we're a part of. We continuously get to meet people who, either we connect because they inspired us or we inspired them, and then we start talking, and next thing you know, you got a new friend. And it's pretty awesome. And yeah, and with that, we're at over an hour, and I'm late. So I'm super late. I have a bunch of things I need to do. I know y'all have a bunch of things you need to do, and I think we had a good discussion. It was a good time. It was a good time, like always. So
So awesome. I'm so grateful to have you guys in my life. And, that post that we've all been putting up, like, what's something that you think about when you think my name? And I just, each and every one of you, I have so many positive thoughts when I think of you guys. Like, and I'm just so happy. Like when Alex, I was like sunshine. Like I literally, like all three of you, when I think of you, I think of like, what's so positive? Like what's something that's like makes you feel good inside and positive and happy, and like sunshine is like that, right? Like, and all three of you guys, I'm so grateful to have you guys in my life.
Me too. I agree. You guys are like the four of us. I talk to you guys every single day. Like without you four, not four because I'm four, but without you three, I don't know. You guys get me by. I love you guys.
I love you guys so much. Thank you. And you guys put up with me and answer all my DMs and everything all day long. So I really appreciate that. Like no matter what, you guys are always there.
All right,
yeah,
Alex.
I just thank God that I'm the only man. I just thank God that I'm the only man out of us four, because I just don't get along with men very well. They're very jealous creatures, and so I'm just happy with that. I'm happy with that. No, hey, I love y'all too. You already know it. I love the fact that we're doing this. That I don't even know how it started. It just started, and I think it's awesome. It's literally an opportunity for us to hang out. That's the way I see it. And then at the same time, get to discover more about ourselves and help other people, get inspired, and also learn that, you can do it too, right? Because sometimes that's all we need. We need to see people do it. And we need to put ourselves in their shoes. And I really, 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 really want some more of our people to come on here with us and, tell their stories and things like that, because it's not just us, y'all. There's 10 people watching right now currently from what I can see. Let me tell you, it's not just us four. It's insane how many of us there are, and how many people we've met, and how many people we know. So I'd love the opportunity to tell everyone's story. And I don't know if I'm chopping up because my internet sucks, but yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Awesome. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Yeah. We'll catch y'all next Friday at some time between 9 a.m. to like 9 p.m. at night. Somewhere in that range, we will let you know that we're going live. So Mookie says she's going to be coming on. All right. That's going to be awesome.
Yes,
I believe that would be a first for her. Yes, come on. So, yes. So I forgot what I was saying. Yeah. So check us out. Follow our social medias. Follow our social media so that way you know when we're going live again. And I do the Bad Boys live show Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Yes, it's 4th of July this week, but we're still going to do it. So at least I am. I'm committed. And that's where we talk about we basically tell your truth through our sharing what we've overcome to help lead you towards financial, emotional, and spiritual freedom so that you can live a happy and purposeful life. So if you want to check out that show where we touch on some serious subjects and really get passionate about talking, then go check it out. All right, Bad Boys Live, my YouTube channel, and on my Facebook. But definitely go follow these beautiful ladies. These beautiful ladies are only in the beginning of their journey. Like as far Adrienne's been over 2.5 years, Jen's been a year, Sarah's been a few months, me, I've been a few months, but believe me, this is only the beginning, and we're here to inspire, we're here to motivate, and we're here to guide anybody who's willing to be guided into the right direction, to a direction of optimal health, and a direction where you can live a life beyond your dreams. Okay. And I'm saying that from my personal experience. All right. So We love y'all. Till next time, I'm gonna end it like I normally do. You can be good. You can be bad and still be good. But be good or be good at it. We'll see y'all.